Nearly 24 million Americans suffer from diabetes, and for those with the disease, keeping it in control is a lifelong challenge. But through proper care, medication management, and a healthy diet, this disease can be managed. Joining us to talk more about this disease and what steps we can take to control it, as well as tell us about a new program from CVS Pharmacy and the 50 million pound challenge that's providing support, is Dr. Ian Smith. Thanks for joining us, Dr. Smith.
Thanks for having me.
What are you ultimately looking to accomplish with this program?
Well, the 50 million pound challenge has been around for a few years, and our goal has been to help America collectively lose 50 million pounds. But beyond that, we want people to become more health conscious. That is, think about what they're putting in their bodies and whether or not their bodies are exercising correctly. And so one of the complications, of course, of being overweight is type 2 diabetes. With this great new partnership with CVS Pharmacy, we now are going to be able to offer the challengers not just great weight loss resources, which are all free on the website, but now we're going to be able to offer them great diabetes information and education, and also management strategies, way to handle the disease and understand exactly what's going on. And so we are so excited about this new partnership with CVS Pharmacy, because this means our impact will now be multiplied by so many.
Can you explain to patients how important glucose testing at least 4 times per day is in conjunction with the A1C home testing kits, as well as obviously eating healthy and exercising?
Well, hemoglobin A1C testing is very important for people who have diabetes. What that does is it gives you an idea of how well or how poorly you've managed your disease the last 3 months. So it's really a good barometer to see how you've been doing as far as controlling your blood glucose levels. The other part of it is testing yourself on a daily basis is also important, because throughout the day, your blood levels, your blood sugar levels fluctuate sometimes extremely dramatically. And so you have to be aware of where you are as far as your blood sugar levels are and what you need to do about it. If you're on medications, that matters. When you take your blood sugar levels, that also matters. So regular and frequent testing throughout the day for a diabetic, a known diabetic, is extremely important for the proper management and control of the blood sugar levels.
People with all types of diabetes can live a very full life despite diagnosis. We all know this, but living with a chronic disease is not always that easy. How do you talk to people living with diabetes that find it to be a death sentence and don't take care of themselves because of it?
Sure. Well, you're right. A chronic illness is not always easy. It's easy to say that it's easy, but it's not. Knowing that you have a particular disease, knowing that you have to restrict yourselves in some fashion, knowing that you have to pay attention to what you're eating and making sure you're exercising correctly, these things, while they may seem simple, can be problematic for some people. The idea is quite simple. The good news and the silver lining in the cloud when it comes to diabetes is that you can control and manage your disease. The hard part, of course, is just doing it. And so what we're hoping with this new partnership with CVS Pharmacy and the 50 million pound challenge, that we will encourage people and inspire people in a great community of support to do these things they need to do to better manage their disease. And it's not easy. It's not always going to be easy, but it's much better than the alternative. And there are thousands and hundreds of thousands of people who have type 2 diabetes who are living healthy, happy lives and have life expectancies as long as everybody else. But it requires paying attention to what you eat, paying attention to your medication, and making sure you're checking your blood sugar levels quite frequently.
People with type 2 diabetes tend to be older individuals and maybe stuck in their ways, so to speak. How do you talk to these people and encourage them to take better care of themselves without using scare tactics? Sure.
Well, the idea is to inspire people and to show people and demonstrate to them what the positive outcomes can be for them. Diabetes is not a death sentence by any stretch of the imagination. And showing people who are 70, 80, 90 years old who have been diabetics for 50 or 60 years can make a big difference. But also demonstrating what minor changes can be made to have such a large impact. People think that if you're a diabetic, all of a sudden your life is upside down. It's really not true. It's just about tweaking and modifying some of your behavioral decisions, and that in turn can lead to much better outcomes.
What's your take on type 2 diabetes reaching our youth?
Well, I think it's of epidemic proportions. I mean, we used to call type 2 diabetes adult onset diabetes. We don't do that anymore because now our youth at younger ages are experiencing and developing type 2 diabetes. And so I think it's a national concern. Diabetes, of course, leads to all kinds of complications, including kidney disease, blindness, and amputations, sometimes even stroke. And so we need to get a grasp on this right away when it comes to youth, because if they're getting it younger, that means those complications could potentially strike them younger, and then we have a major problem on our hands.
And no doubt this will probably increase membership on the 50 Million Pound Challenge website through this partnership. Is there an age limit on the 50 Million Pound Challenge website? And also, is it going to be used to help motivate people with all types of diabetes as well as other chronic diseases and conditions?
Sure. To join the 50 Million Pound Challenge, you have to be 18 years or older, but it's completely free, and our website is 50millionpounds.com. But you can also get information at cvs.com/diabetes. Both websites provide a great number of resources that are free, accessible, and quite easy to understand and implement in your everyday life.
Most websites like these have a fee to join. What inspired you to make it a free website?
Well, because so many people can't afford paying fees. I mean, the country's in a tough times, and people are paying for things already that I don't think they should be paying for. Information that can be helpful, that can save lives, and make you feel better, allow you to live the best you can, they should be for free. I mean, this is information that is not, patented or territorial. This is information that we all share, and so I wanted to provide this information to everyone. It's not about making money, it's about getting people healthier and giving people a hope at this thing we call life.
Gina Capone of the diabetesresource.com thinks the 30-day meal plan is fantastic. As a person living with type 1 diabetes and knowing that some type 2 diabetes patients take insulin for the amount of carbs they eat, did you consider putting carb counts next to the food choices?
We have been asked that, and we have considered it. The idea behind the 30-day meal plan was it was kind of a warm-up for a lot of people who are doing my program called the 4-Day Diet. And so they could go on the website, do the 30-day meal plan for free, get themselves in tune, and then graduate and do the 4-Day Diet. But websites are works in progress, and we take advice and work on it. And so that is something that we are considering as we do a revamp of the entire website.
Around how many calories are in each day of the plan?
It all depends on the day, of course, but they're between 1,400 and 1,800 calories, depending on your day. And that's my belief, is that days of the calories in different days should not be consistent. They should be up and down, because if you can allow your calorie count to fluctuate, then you never allow your body to become acclimated to eating the same number of calories.
And can you tell us a little bit about any certified diabetes educators or nutritionists that helped made the meal plan with you?
Sure. We have a lot of resources. We have nutritionists who contribute to helping the meal plan, to make sure the calorie counts fall in the right place, make sure we have the proper amount of fiber in the diet. And so it really becomes a collective effort to make sure that, number one, the calorie count is where it's supposed to be, but equally important, that people are getting all the food groups they need to eat healthy.
How many pounds per week should the average person lose on this diet?
The average person should lose approximately 2 pounds a week, which is really good. If someone lost even on average 1 pound a week, that would be great. Unfortunately, people look at TV shows and see people losing 10 to 15 pounds in a week, and they have to realize that that is so outside of the normal range. Slower, steady weight loss, of course, is the most ideal because it is sustainable.
And do you recommend type 1 diabetes patients to go on the 50 Million Pound Challenge?
I recommend everyone to go on the 50 Million Pound Challenge, but diabetes is a very idiosyncratic disease, which means that what works for some doesn't work for someone else with the same disease. And so each diabetic knows their triggers, they know their blood sugar levels. You have to make substitutions that you deem are necessary in order to follow the program, but definitely modify it per your preferences and per your medical restrictions.
Okay, and where else can folks go to get more information?
Great. Just go to cvs.com/diabetes and go to 50millionpounds.com.
Okay, Dr. Ian Smith, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.